Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing on this October 14th, 4 p.m.? Hope everyone is having a good day. Anybody that might tune in. The guy on the thumbnail, his name is Jason Gimpy Two Step in Allstein. I'm going to get right to the point. His name is Jason Gimpy Two Step in Allstein. That's his nickname. I did not give it to him. He is a crackhead. He is guilty of stalking. He is guilty of identity theft. He is an accomplice to o.p.p, Ontario Provincial Police, Lennox and Addington, Robert Kane. He is guilty of a possible murder in 2021. He is guilty of drug trafficking. He is guilty of drug lacing. He is a drug trafficker. He sells laced fentanyls to commit murders that are covered up. He is a accomplice to o.p.p, sex slavery trafficking, tortures, framings, sex assaults, identity thefts, and murders which are taking place in Napanee. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police for speaking of their crimes. As a result, I've been injured, tortured, medical blacklisted, kidnapped for blood and piss, false arrested, medically blacklisted, file falsifications, discriminations, treatment refusals, surrounding hands on guns, stalking, extortion, lies, time buying, cover ups, complete total skull deforming, lung and kidney mutilations, damages while being prevented from getting medical help. Ontario Provincial Police who are guilty of murders and attempted murder in the first degree, whether in Napanee or have transferred or not, to avoid arrest, charging, and lawsuits against them and Ontario Provincial Police for the crimes that they are guilty of. Ex-o.p.p chief, year 2019, he drove a white Jeep Wrangler, had me shot on the corner of Bridge and Center Street before he left Napanee. Staff Sergeants, years 2019, 2021, kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and Shelley Huffner, Spencer Mills 14716, Robert Kane 7224. Human traffickers, human sex trade slavery traffickers, and they are guilty of multiple homicides, tortures, and homicides. The Justice of the Peace, accusations, threats, intimidations, false arrest. Lennox and Addington County General Hospital doctors who are criminally negligent involved in co-committing and covering up their crimes with intent against o.p.p victims through lies. Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V. She is a name and file falsifier, medical blacklister, and she is the one that assures crimes for o.p.p. And she is also the girlfriend to Stacy, that was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS. She is the one that assures crimes, and she is guilty of homicides, attempted homicides, cover-ups with intent, with criminal intent. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, ex-CEO, Lennox and Addington Hospital, Dave Cubbyduck, or Wayne Cubbyduck, and patient relations, Aaron Brown, had me falsely charged in an attempt to prevent anything legal on her, the hospital, and doctors who are criminally involved. That was also done in an attempt to give me a record, which I did not previously have. The lies about being suicidal, self-harmer, lies of drugs, lies of psychological record in history, lies of long criminal record in history, and none of it is true. No association with any cops or any other pieces of shit that's lied about me against me to prevent me help and proof of what has taken place. My mother was also stalked and murdered December 20th, 2020 through a guy named Bill Waldridge, who is the boss to o.p.p. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is a heroin addict. He is highly psychotic, highly delusional. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth. He thinks that he is me. He believes that he is my dad. He was stalking my mother and calling my mother mom. He also thinks that he is Harry Potter. He is approximately 60 to 70 years old. He has many alias names. He goes by Bill Woldridge, Bill Cooldridge, Bill Delarosable. He goes by James Bubbles, Robert Cross, and a Stephen Maven, which is a Walnut Harbour inmate, an escapee walk away that o.p.p. are looking for, and conveniently he's being hidden right in Napanee through o.p.p. Who he is, he used to stalk children for ex-o.p.p. chief, the one that had me shot in 2019 before he left. He used to stalk children at Tim Hortons Forum for sex slavery trafficking. There is also one Blair Frederick Hardy. He is he is a meth trafficker. He allegedly has a meth lab in Tweed, Ontario. He is a co-drug trafficker with him for o.p.p. Robert Kane. Him and the one known as Bill Woldridge are the ones that control the drug supply through o.p.p. and Robert Kane. They are untouchable, unarrestable. Blair Frederick Hardy is also guilty of stalking. He is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit. He's an obsessed homosexual. He is guilty of financial thefts and frauds, welfare, disability, old age pension frauds, bank frauds, forgeries, rapes, and multiple homicides. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne, the one that's on the thumbnail. Once again, he is guilty of stalking. He is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity and insurance fraud. He's guilty of attempted murder. Robert Berry, he is guilty of attempted murder. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is guilty of torture crimes. He is guilty of attempted murder. Once again, he is a sex slave trafficker, a trucker, and a possible serial killer. Bert the Hitman Hustler, who is a alleged NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and Hartford Whalers. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is a pill dealer. He is a meth head. He is guilty of torture crimes. He's guilty of being involved with my identity theft, and he is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. One Raymond LeBlanc, he is a child groomer. He is a criminal stalker. He is a meth trafficker. And he is guilty of torture crimes. He's guilty of torturing and killing my dog in 2023. He's guilty of attempted murder on me. Tyler Teabag Lake, he is guilty of attempted murder on me. He is Robert Kane Rattenform, little meth head piece of shit. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog with Ray LeBlanc in 2023. Guilty of attempted murder on me. Dale Hartwick, he is guilty of attempted murder, guilty of being involved with my identity theft, guilty of torture crimes with the intent to commit for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife's boyfriend a few years ago. He's guilty of attempted murder on me. His boyfriend, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, who is guilty of torture crimes. He's guilty of sex assaults. He's guilty of attempted paralyzing me. He's guilty of being involved with my identity theft and attempted murder with intent to commit for his boyfriend to aid him in drop charges. They are speedheads. They are crackheads. They are meth heads. They are fentanyl heads. They are fentanyl dealers dealing laced fentanyl between Napanee and Kingston, Ontario to cause overdose murders with the intent to make it look like just another addict had gotten bad drugs and overdosed. No, it's being done with intent for that purpose. o.p.p. are involved in having people medically blacklisted when people go murdered, when people go missing. It is through Ontario provincial police. It is their lies, their time buying, their medical blacklist, and their full physical identity thefts that they are committing on their victims, their false arrest to get pictures, prints, signatures, and everything they need for false arrest, for framings, frauds against their victims, to slave traffic them, to torture them, and to commit homicide on them once again. This has taken place in Napanee, Ontario, Canada. Poor, elderly, disabled are their targets. They are causing homelessness and they are causing homeless exploitation for monetary gain. Also involved in possible money laundering through the Morning Star mission, where this also began. There is also a priest or a preacher, his name is one David Smith, involved as well. He is he is a sex slave trafficker as well. This has been going on with me for 5 years because I spoke o.p.p. crimes. It's 100% revenge retaliation on me. They're guilty of ending the Wood bloodline by doing this to me, completely and totally numbing me, fucking my brain, completely and totally deforming my skull in serious ways, with proof while preventing me help through the doctors because of medical blacklisting and lies against me through one Dr. Margie V, aka Tatiana V, or Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V. Once again, Stacy's girlfriend. She is guilty of homicides with intent to commit with criminal negligence. She should be arrested and locked up with the Hawkesbury doctor. My medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights have been taken away from me while these bastards are committing this crime against me and getting away with it. I am completely and totally numb in my fucking head from being injured. I am completely and totally numb in my face. I've had serious lung and body damages to me. I've had serious kidney damages to me. As a matter of fact, the one that's guilty of causing my lung damage and having me kicked out of the hospital to prevent me any help is one ex-CEO, Wayne Cubbydock. Each and every one of these pieces of shit are guilty of criminal negligence with intent to commit criminal medical whatever, but they are guilty of being involved since day one with my identity theft, with my identity changes, and I am the end of my bloodline. So if anybody wants to, and any o.p.p, Spencer Mills, Robert Kane, or anyone else wants to pay to have my dad exhumed in Deserano, Ontario, because the crimes against me and the pieces of shit that they are using to do this with and for them while they are being protected, untouchable, unarrestable without $22,000. Yes, o.p.p is also involved in extortion, which prevents arrest on anybody that can implicate them in their crimes that they are guilty of. My medical rights, my legal rights, and my human rights have been all completely taken away from me while I have been going through this fucking identity theft by crackhead pieces of shit, obsessed homosexual fucking lowlives who are nothing more than fall down accomplices with and for o.p.p. Each and every one of them are sex offenders. Each and every one of them are drug traffickers and junkies. And conveniently, they own the police in Napanee, which makes them even more seriously dangerous because they cannot be arrested. Once again, the cops themselves named need to be criminally arrested. One way or another, there will be lawsuits put against them, not a threat, against Lennox and Addington County or against Lennox and Addington Provincial Police. There's going to be serious lawsuits against you, not a threat, for what you have done to me with criminal intent for fucking revenge retaliation. Ending bloodlines because that's exactly what they have done by doing this to me. Ending the Wood bloodline by doing this to me. As it stands right now, there is one Dale Hartwick who needs to be arrested, and he needs to be locked up with his boyfriend Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns for the rest of his fucking life. He is also my cousin. He is guilty of molesting me when I was a child in Winnipeg, Manitoba. His uncle Harry is guilty of abusing me as a child. I was 10 years old, and because I would not eat a pickled onion, he proceeded to rip my clothes off of me. He proceeded to beat me. He proceeded to sex assault me. And then he proceeded to put duct tape on my testicles as a 10-year-old little boy, and then made me stand naked in a fucking corner for 4 hours. This is the kind of pieces of shit who are doing this to me now and are co-offenders and accomplices with OPP. All of this started to happen to me after I was shot by the ex-OPP chief in 2019 before he left by whatever the fuck it was that was shot. It wasn't a bullet. It was something that was shot into me in my right ear. And that's when I started to have problems. And then conveniently after that, that's when Lennox and Addington County General Hospital got all of this bullshit falsified file on me when I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 fucking years prior to that. And then all of a sudden I get shot and they have all of this bullshit crap in my medical file. I don't fucking think so. Lies about drugs that I do not do. I am 100% against drugs. I smoke marijuana, which is 100% legal. But as far as anything else goes, I am 100% against it in every way, shape, or form. I've lost too many friends and family, and I myself overdosed from fucking drugs in 2012. That was my wake up call. So, as anything about as far as being drugs is bullshit, lies against me. Anything about being a suicidal self harmer is bullshit, lies against me. I am about life, and I sure the fuck am not about taking my life or anyone else's. I've been trying to save my life, my identity, and my bloodline with 100% proof while being called a delusional, hallucinating fucking retard, while cops and doctors are trying to turn this around and make it my fault for provable 100% crimes that I could not possibly do in any way, shape, or form, especially this serious fucking skull deforming by trying to label me a suicidal self-harmer. This is the kind of fucking garbage and lies that they are using and casting against their victims. Tony Hearns, Dale Hartwick, Blair Hardy, Bill Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Raymond LeBlanc, Bert the Hitman Hustler, Robert Berry. I'm going to see you arrested. I will come up with the $22,000 and I will see you arrested through OPP, and they themselves are going to be, whether they are still in Napanee or transferred or not, to avoid the arrest and charging that they are guilty of for the crimes, along with the very serious lawsuits that are coming one way or another against the cops, against doctors at Lennox and Addington County General Hospital who are above laws and who have to prove nothing, using their positions to buy time, having their victims falsely arrested to fuck over their victims and hope to discredit them because you are doctors. You are criminals. You are nothing but cover up hospital for OPP, for Bill Wooldridge, for Blair Hardy, and I have fucking proven this. And this is why the police and everybody else are so successful in getting away with their crimes that they are committing. Human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, sex assaults, kidnapping, blood and piss forcing, surrounding victims' hands on guns to prevent anything legal on cops, doctors, or anyone else, with 100% proof, video proof of that. So don't ever speak OPP crimes, especially if Spencer Mills shows up at your door Homicides will happen. Your family will be stalked. Your parents will possibly be killed. Your animals will be killed. There will be arson attempts against your place while you are being injured, tortured, medically blacklisted, and fucking have an identity theft committed against you and possibly murdered. I was kicked out of Napanee through the hospital where I had to go homeless for a full year living in Kingston, where I was a sex slave traffic victim. So, yeah, men, it does happen to men too. And me being a 52-year-old man, the justice of the peace is guilty of obstructions and accusations against me, threats, intimidations, accusing me of being high on marijuana and hallucinating, being sodomized, sex assaulted, having being completely and totally ripped open, and then turning it around and making it look like a fucking hallucination. I even went to the hospital or doctor to the hospital after it happened to try to get help. And I had Dr. Barton laugh in my fucking face over it, thinking that it was a joke because I'm a man and because who it was done by the o.p.p. Staff Sergeants year 2019 and the one known as Bill Wooldridge, who uses the alias name of Stephen Maven, who is a wanted walkaway Harvard inmate. And he lives right at, I don't want to give addresses, but he lives right at 149 Center Street North, right behind a law office. Shannon Cork has laughed in my face over me telling her to arrest him as he went on to stalk and murder my mother, and she fucking damn well knew what was taking place. She fucking damn well knew what was happening. They are all very, very, very fucking seriously dangerous in Napanee. And as a result, I've been through full physical identity theft by homosexual fucking junkies who cannot and will not be arrested because they own the cops. Hello. Anyway, I hope this is seen. I hope it's shared and liked because it's very serious. It's very important. I am Chris Wood, and I am the end of my bloodline, and I am a brain injured, full physical identity theft victim. And as it stands right now, one Dale Hartwick and his boyfriend Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, you are guilty of a murder, attempted murder with intent to commit. You are guilty of identity theft, guilty of torture. You are guilty of sex assaults. You are guilty of attempted paralyzing me. Congratulations, all to get Dale Hartwick drop charges, you fucking pieces of shit. Anybody see this, beware, never speak o.p.p. crimes. Your life and your family's and bloodline will be ended, and there's gonna be fuck all you can do about it. Trust me.